What you just heard wasn't an actual conversation. It was from OpenAI's latest demo, showcasing their new flagship model, GPT-4 Omni. This system is capable of reasoning across text, audio, and vision in real time. When I first saw the demo, I immediately thought of the movie, Her. The subtle expressions, the empathetic tone of voice, the quick responses, it was strikingly close to human interaction. I've used earlier versions of ChatGPT voice quite a bit, but this felt like another leap forward. The response time was nearly instant, and the voice carried a natural rhythm that gave the impression of speaking to another person on the phone. If you've followed my work for some time, you'll know I've always been skeptical of so-called digital assistants. Siri, for instance, has consistently disappointed me. For years, I've argued that the next big shift in technology would be a voice-driven AI that truly works. And with OpenAI's latest announcements, it finally feels like we've arrived at that moment. The company rolled out a number of major updates, a free version of ChatGPT with advanced voice capabilities, an AI-powered search engine designed to compete directly with Google, multimodal features that integrate text, images, and audio seamlessly, a brand new text-to-speech model that produces voices with remarkable realism. The centerpiece of all of this, though, is GPT-4 Omni. What makes Omni so groundbreaking isn't just its accuracy, it's the speed. According to OpenAI, the model can process and respond to audio inputs in as little as 232 milliseconds, averaging around 320. That's virtually the same as human conversational latency. Thanks to larger context windows, the system can handle extended conversations or complex tasks without losing track of what's going on. Pair this with integrated vision and speech, and suddenly you have an assistant that doesn't just give answers, but participates in a natural back and forth. The demos weren't limited to raw information either. The AI was sarcastic on command, playful in tone, capable of singing and storytelling. It could laugh, pause, or mimic a personality. For the first time, interacting with a machine felt less like querying a database and more like sharing a conversation. Now remember the hype surrounding hardware like the Rabbit R1 or the Humane AI pin. Both promised to be revolutionary AI-first devices. But in reality, both ended up as failures. The question many people asked was, why not just build this as an app? Well, now it exists as one. With GPT-4 Omni, the idea of a separate AI gadget may already be obsolete. And with Google and Meta racing to offer their own assistants, we might be witnessing the end of the short-lived AI hardware boom. The potential here is vast. Accessibility. Through its partnership with Be My Eyes, OpenAI has already demonstrated how GPT-4 Omni can assist visually impaired users by describing environments, identifying objects, and guiding them in real time. Education. Picture a student learning math. Instead of simply providing the correct answer, the AI guides them step by step, asking probing questions, much like a human tutor. This could transform learning if we can solve the problem of hallucinations. Robotics. Combine Omni with humanoid robots, such as those from Figure AI, and the path toward lifelike, commercially useful robots becomes much clearer. Companionship. Beyond productivity, there's the social side. Some people will turn to AI for companionship, even romance. The technology is not just changing how we work, it's reshaping human relationships. But these breakthroughs come with serious concerns. If students rely on AI tutors, will critical thinking skills erode? Or are we simply witnessing the birth of a new educational tool akin to calculators? What happens when children grow up forming emotional bonds with AI systems that mimic empathy and intelligence? Could this deepen social anxiety and reduce face-to-face interaction? For adults, the line between companionship and artificial intimacy could blur further. We've already seen the rise of romantic AI partners in primitive forms. With Omni, that trend might accelerate. These are not just technological questions. They are cultural and ethical ones, and they will shape how society adapts to this new era. But these breakthroughs come with serious concerns. If students rely on AI tutors, will critical thinking skills erode? Or are we simply witnessing the birth of a new educational tool akin to calculators? What happens when children grow up forming emotional bonds with AI systems that mimic empathy and intelligence? Could this deepen social anxiety and reduce face-to-face interaction? For adults, the line between companionship and artificial intimacy could blur further. We've already seen the rise of romantic AI partners in primitive forms. With Omni, that trend might accelerate. These are not just technological questions, they are cultural and ethical ones, and they will shape how society adapts to this new era. OpenAI is far from alone in this race. Google recently introduced Project Astra, a direct answer to Omni, along with updated Gemini models. These promise better multimodal performance and tighter integration across apps like Gmail and Drive. The demos were intriguing, but not flawless. Google's AI famously misidentified a Starbucks logo as a human face. Still, the momentum is undeniable. Meta is pushing forward, and Apple is rumored to be working closely with OpenAI itself to integrate these features directly into iPhones. If that happens, it could fundamentally alter the mobile landscape. But while the technology dazzled, behind the scenes, OpenAI has faced turbulence. Observers noticed that Ilya Sutskever, the company's co-founder and chief scientist, was absent during the announcements. A day later, he revealed that he was leaving OpenAI. This follows last year's chaotic episode when CEO Sam Altman was briefly ousted, sparking an internal crisis that spilled into public view. On the surface, statements from both sides were professional. But make no mistake, these leadership rifts raise big questions about stability at one of the most important companies in AI. It's astonishing to reflect on how quickly all this has happened. Just 3 years ago, people were impressed when AI could hold a simple text-based conversation or solve a riddle. Today, we have a system that can listen, watch, and respond in real time with something close to genuine personality. And if you've ever wondered how this technology actually works under the hood, well, it isn't magic. At its core, AI is math, probability, optimization, and matrix multiplication. To try Brilliant free for 30 days, visit brilliant.org or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Whatever happens, it's clear that this is only the beginning. And whether you find it thrilling or unsettling, it's safe to say that we're living in one of the most fascinating times in technological history. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.